Shattering Life's Illusions 2. Regain Ultimate Freedom.
Welcome to today's deep dive. This presentation is sponsored and shared by the Buddha Way Association of Australia. The topic we are going to talk about today will completely upend your perception. The ultimate wisdom you have been desperately searching for. Guess what? It isn't outside of you at all. It was written into your body's source code long ago. To use an analogy, it's like a cosmic Wi-Fi signal omnipresent and never offline. As long as you have the password, you can connect at any time. So, are you ready to unlock the foundational code of your life? Let's jump right in. Without further ado, let's look at today's core roadmap. First, we will discuss how to activate the signal of Tathagata wisdom. Next, we will dig into why we are constantly creating suffering for ourselves. In step 3, we will break traditional definitions and reveal that all sensory tastes sweet, sour, bitter, and spicy are merely illusions. Then, we will identify life's 3 major severe illnesses. Finally, we will explore how accumulating merit and virtue leads us toward absolute, unrestricted freedom. Part E, activating the signal of Tathagata wisdom. Let's first unveil the ultimate truth hidden behind reality. This material mentions a concept called the great element Mabhta, also commonly known as the Tathagata. Don't rush to treat it as a highly complex, abstract religious term. The material offers a vivid analogy. View it as a cosmic, 24 fully covered Wi-Fi signal. This signal resides within our own nature and operates simultaneously in every corner of the universe. You don't need to go outside to find it. You only need to do one thing: enter the correct password. For instance, when you single-mindedly and attentively recite a bodhisattva's name, it's just like clicking login. Once logged in successfully, you can instantly sync with and receive that immense reservoir of wisdom and energy. Let's look at this profound citation from the Avatasaka Astra. When the Buddha observed our world back then, he was amazed to the extreme and uttered an incredible exclamation. He said, "How strange! Truly remarkable! Why do all these sentient beings inherently possess such extraordinary Tathagata wisdom, yet live like they are blindfolded, ignorant, confused, knowing nothing and seeing nothing?" Imagine the picture. It's like having an unlimited black card sitting in your pocket, while you lie awake every night filled with anxiety over a few dollars for a quick meal. Does that sound absurd? Yet it is a very real reflection of how many of us live. This illustrates where the difference lies between ordinary people and enlightened beings. At the level of ordinary beings, our everyday perspective, we view the world through thick filters. Reality has long been distorted by our personal biases, false definitions, and the endless mental chatter in our heads. However, if you switch to the Buddha's perspective, it's a completely different scene. There are no filters and no obstructions. Reality is seen precisely as it is, a pure perspective seamlessly connected with the entire universe. Part R, why we constantly create suffering. Which brings us to Part R, if we are born with such a perfect factory setting, why do we live so miserably in reality? Let's break down this tragic human operating system step by step. Have you noticed? From the moment we are born, we constantly absorb information from our parents, schools, and society. We then use this external information to hammer out a rigid set of standards in our minds regarding what is good and what is bad. The moment reality fails to conform to our definition of good, our system automatically attaches emotions like greed or anger. We desire happiness with all our hearts. Right, yet, because the underlying logic of our system is built entirely on false definitions taught by others, we end up turning ourselves into ashasi, our non-stop suffering factories. Regarding this, the master in the source material offered a very relatable example. Suppose your favorite snack on the table goes missing, and you suspect a certain person ate it. You check the security footage, and the video indeed shows that person taking it. You might think the evidence is rock solid now, right? But what is the actual truth? You have no idea what was going through their mind at that moment. Perhaps they were so preoccupied with work that they reached out and took it purely out of habit, without even remembering where they put it down afterward. Yet, because of your suspicion and preset definitions, you have already passed a death sentence on them in your heart. A whole family could even end up in a massive feud over a tiny matter like this and hold a grudge for a lifetime. You see, our subjective suspicions are actually the most destructive illusions in human relationships. Part 3, Breaking definitions, flavors, and sensations are illusions. Since our definitions are so unreliable, let's enter part C and thoroughly shatter these illusions. Here comes a truly interesting point that holds a soul-searching question at us. Are you genuinely certain that the sweetness you taste is inherently sweet in its essence? Or to put it another way, does an absolute property called fragrance truly exist in the world? You can pause for a moment and carefully ponder this question. Let's switch to a scientific perspective. In the microscopic world of physics and chemistry, there is no such thing as sweet, sour, bitter, spicy, or salty if you pursue it all the way down. They are merely different frequencies, sound waves, and molecular structures. For instance, different fruits have different molecular structures. It is simply our brain that forcefully defines a particular structure as sweet. The material uses an apt analogy. If you write the word fragrant on paper with a regular ballpoint pen, will the word itself emit a pleasant scent? Absolutely not. Similarly, all the labels we slap onto this world are merely labels. They are not the true nature of things. When we realize that our daily perceptions are entirely illusions, we must pull out the root of the disease. Part C, recognizing life's 3 severe illnesses. Ancient scriptures diagnosed human symptoms with incredible accuracy long ago. The Mahabharata explicitly states that we all suffer from 3 severe illnesses: karmic obstacles, karmvara; retributive obstacles, vipk-vara; affliction obstacles, kle-vara. The scripture notes that these 3 obstacles are life-threatening diseases. Like heavy iron chains, they lock us tightly into a self-manufactured, endless loop of suffering. Let's zoom in on the affliction obstacle, the mental virus we get infected with every day, the 5 poisons of greed, anger, ignorance, arrogance, and suspicion are Ga, dva, moha, and na. Physicists, these 5 poisons warp our reality every single second. Take arrogance, for example. For the sake of pride and winning, people hoist themselves high above the fire, only to suffer agonizing pain when they fall. Or take the suspicion we just discussed. It can destroy all the goodwill and relationships you painstakingly built in a single second. It is precisely because these affliction viruses run constantly in the background that we fail to search for and connect to that Tathgata Wi-Fi signal, which was operating at full strength all along. Part U, accumulating merit to achieve absolute freedom. How do we completely liberate ourselves from this pathological state? Let's read on. The master provides a crystal clear operational guide here. It's like solving a math problem if you honestly and strictly follow the formulas and principles without inserting any personal I think or I feel. The result will be 100% correct every time. That is conforming to natural laws and preserving things in their original purity. The problem arises when we forcefully cram our own biases into the formula. What is that equivalent to? It's like randomly moving decimal points while doing a math problem. The result is bound to fail completely, and suffering follows immediately. Therefore, true wisdom lies in not adding unnecessary ornamentation. When you gradually learn to stop making wild definitions, your wisdom and merit will begin to accumulate rapidly. At that point, you will experience what true freedom feels like. Let's look at how the levels of this freedom progress. Ordinary people must buy tickets and squeeze into seats when traveling severely restricted by this physical body. A head of state has private jets and security details, achieving immense freedom on the material level. But is that the peak? Far from it. In the intermediate state, bardo of life, consciousness can teleport instantly to wherever thought directs it. At the realm of an arhat or a Buddha, it becomes even more extraordinary. They no longer require a physical body at all, transforming directly into light that fills the universe. That is true ultimate, absolute freedom. As we reach the end of today's deep dive, I want to leave you with this question. You now know that a perfect, error-free ultimate wisdom system has been installed inside your body all along. So, do you plan to keep wearing those worn-out, tinted glasses, continuously creating suffering and tormenting yourself in this world? Or are you ready to put down those false definitions, enter the password, and log into the vast wisdom you inherently possess? The power to choose has always been in your hands. Thank you very much for watching today's analysis. I hope it inspired you. See you next time.